So happy 2025, here we are. This video is going to get into a lot of things. And next week, I'm going to do everything I knit in 2024 because I have too many things to talk about before that. So I have things to cover because a lot has happened between Vlogmas and now. So I have a New Year cast on to show you because Erica and I had a New Year cast on party as we traditionally do. This is like our third year or fourth year doing that. I have new finished objects. I have a New Year's Eve outfit. I have a new bag to show you that goes with all of this, like dressing up your knits. I have Mosi progress. I'm gonna take a look at my due dates for that, re-evaluate. I have a yarn label paper chain from all the yarn labels I knit with this year. And I have to show you our craft night at the Varsity Theater, our movie night, because it was amazing. And I have a big secret project that is happening in 2025, a big secret thing that I'm going to be working on, and I'm going to try to figure out how to work that into everything else that's going on this year. But yeah, stick around because we're getting into it. Hey everybody, my name is Jen and this is Jen Geigley Knits, and happy 2025. I can't believe we're here. It's January. We just had a snow squall like just now, which is you get a whole bunch of snow all at once. And so there was like a winter warning, but it's not that bad. Actually, it's not like a serious storm, but I just did shovel our driveway. So if I look a little rosy and invigorated, it's because I was just out literally shoveling one of the longest driveways in our area. We have a really long driveway, but the snow was not deep. We just got a lot of it at once. And so they do warn you like visibility wise and that kind of stuff. So the funny thing is during the holidays, it was really unseasonably warm. And so it felt a little off this year. Hanukkah and Christmas, it was like 50 some degrees Fahrenheit. And it was rainy, and everything about the holidays sort of fell like midweek. So it felt like we were kind of off for some reason the whole time. And then of course there's that weird in-between period that we all feel a little bit lost, I think, between Christmas and New Year's. And then you jump back into work, which is what I did this morning. And I did a whole bunch of things. And then I came inside after shoveling, because I have to shovel to get my car out to pick up the kids from school. If you live in a snowy area, you will understand this, that if you don't shovel your driveway, you end up with these car tracks that don't go away until it melts again. And we have cold temperatures for the next 2 weeks. And so it's not going to melt. And so you can't drive on it or it messes up. I mean, if you're picky, like my husband is kind of picky about our driveway. Anyway, so I had to shovel. Anyway, I just shoveled. And then I came inside and put on a dress because this is going to be such a random video, because I have a new finished object I want to show you. And I want to talk about dressing up your knits because I just wore this outfit to New Year's Eve and it was really fun wearing your knits, dressing up a little bit, going out, and yeah, wearing your knits out with a dressy black dress, this is how I dress up. I wear black and it's the easiest way. Like I just finished my Felix cardigan in Lopi over the holidays. And I used my very special buttons. I'm going to try to get close in on these because these I purchased for this project while I was at Rhinebeck this year. And they are very cool and different. So each button is different. They're kind of black and sparkly, and some have like this white and sometimes a little metallic thing going on in there. They're all different sizes, and they're all unique. And it's from Dusty's Vintage Buttons, and she, makes these sets of buttons that she puts together. She curates, and look how beautiful. I just knew these had to go on a black sweater to kind of dress it up a little bit and make it look, like not just little black buttons. And I think they work so well on this sweater. The only challenge I had when I was sewing these on is some of the buttons have, little buttonholes, And some of them are like this that have the holes through the back, and they were all different sized holes. And my little tiniest sewing needle wasn't getting through some of them, and I was having a little bit of a struggle, but I got them all on. I may have broken a sewing needle in the process, but it was gonna happen. But I love this cardigan. So it is the Felix, so it has these beautiful yarn overs. I don't know if I can show you, kind of, there you go. These little V's that go up each raglan. The fit is perfect. I knit my usual size. I maybe made it a little bit longer. I think their sample is a little bit cropped, but I like it right to the waist. And it looks cute, unbuttoned, buttoned, half buttoned. I was doing like the top 3 buttons, and that was really nice. So the other thing is I have not blocked it yet. And I don't know if I need to or want to. Sometimes I just wear it. And that's what's happened every time so far, because every time I think I'm going to go block it, I realize I might want to wear it the next day. And so I don't want it to be wet. And so I really don't, sometimes you just don't have to block it. Sometimes you really do. And I think it would help with the softness of Lopi. It does kind of benefit from a nice little soak. So I probably will at some point, but it's also nice to just kind of wear it in by wearing it and kind of having it form to your body. And I'm going to try it on now. But yeah, let's talk about dressing up your knits, because that is what the goal of this sweater was. I love wearing black, and I knew I would wear a black sweater a lot. And I felt like this was missing in my wardrobe. And so this was one of my goals last year, is to knit a black cardigan, just a simple black cardigan. And this Felix is the perfect one. This dress is a funny little 2-piece connected dress. So the top part is a short sleeve sweater and the bottom is a cotton skirt, and it's quite long, but it works really well with a little cardigan on top, especially in the cold weather. And then I put on leggings underneath, and then I got these kind of mid boots from Zara that work really well with a longer skirt. I'll kind of show you my very boring basic black outfit, but I think it's easy to dress up your knits when you just layer it over a dress. And there's so many knitters who do this really well. Like Amy from Lobby and May always has a cardigan with a dress. But this is just kind of, I think black elevates it a little bit. Just these little special buttons for me elevates it a little bit and makes it feel more special. And just knowing that you're wearing something that you knit yourself, even when you're dressed up and going out, is extra special too. So this is my fun New Year's Eve outfit that I wore out to dinner with my husband on New Year's Eve. The kids were staying home and just chilling, and so we went out to eat, and it was really fun to wear this for the first time. I think I had finished it the night before, and so I was really extra excited to wear it. So yeah, the thing with these Felix cardigans, and I had noticed on Ravelry too, because you kind of research, I do anyway, before you knit something to look at other people's finished projects. And the one thing I was worried about this sweater is sometimes the neckline looks a little bit large. And as I was knitting it, it did look pretty huge actually. Just where it stopped out here, it seemed very low, and I like a higher neck. But I think this turned out really nice where I don't have that problem. It really goes like a nice crew neck shape right here. And the reason I think this worked out for me is I really had that in mind as I was picking up stitches around the neck. I used a smaller needle for this ribbing, which I don't think you can even tell, and it's black. No, you're not going to see anything that I did here. But I picked up a little bit less than the recommended stitches that they suggest in the pattern, and that's the beauty of a pattern. It's all recommendations, suggestions. You can follow it to the T, or you can modify. I mean, I think we all do this to kind of make it the way you want it to turn out. So I think this worked out so well. So yeah, I picked up a few less stitches. That first row of ribbing, I knitted 2 together in 6 different spots, evenly spaced around, to also tighten that up. And then I did the recommended rows of ribbing to match, the button band and the sleeves. The sleeves, I guess, are a little longer, but Just those tiny little adjustments made this not so wide, because some of the samples go, you know, more down here and a wider neckline, which is not my fave. And so I'm really happy it fits this way. It's just a tiny bit boxy across here with a little bit of ease, which is perfect and exactly what I wanted. The sleeves fit just right, and the sleeve length is just right. And I'm so happy with this cardigan, and I'm so excited to use these special buttons from Rhinebeck. And I wish you could see them a little bit better, but they are beautiful, and they add just a little bit of extra fun to this plain black cardigan that I love so much. Also, I think it would look so cute, and I'll have to try it again with another outfit, but I think it would look so cute with a white t-shirt underneath where you can actually see the little yarn overs and the little shape that it makes in the raglan. But anyway, I am so happy with this cardigan. Keeping on topic with dressing up your knits and my love for wearing all black, this video is actually sponsored by Teddyblake, New York, and this is very exciting, and I want to share this with you. I also have a really good coupon code, so stay tuned for that. But Teddyblake let me choose a bag, and they sent me a beautiful bag, and I thought I would unbox it here with you. I have actually used it in real life once on New Year's Eve with this outfit, but I will show you what it looks like in the box when you get it. So here's the beautiful box you receive when you get your bag. It's Teddyblake, New York. They are designer handbags made in Italy with luxury leather. Each Teddyblake handbag has been made with you in mind to be an extension of your unique style and flatter your every fashion choice, including your own hand-knit sweater. So you get this beautiful dust bag. And then of course I chose a black bag. And I also considered this size because it will fit my knitting inside. Obviously, that's like the biggest factor in choosing a bag. The bag I chose is called the Gigi Stampato 13-inch in black. So it's black inside and out. It has these beautiful closures. I'll show you how that opens in a minute because it's really, really cool. And then it has a crossbody adjustable strap, which I love, but I also did order on my own a thicker, they have a thick strap option, which is something I just personally love, just because I don't know why, comfort wise and just style wise, I like a thick strap, and they offer those. And it's really easy to switch out because they have these little hooks, but it is a gorgeous bag, definitely large enough to hold your knitting, but also to be your normal handbag for every day. These bags are beautifully made, very high quality, like every detail is absolutely gorgeous. But let's try out my wider strap. I mean, I'm gonna love both straps. You can use either one, honestly. And I love that this one adjusts. And it's like the perfect length for a crossbody right now. But I do wanna check out my wide strap, so let's unbox that. So Teddyblake sent me this bag, and it's perfect as is, but I did decide that I wanted to try the wider strap on my own. So I ordered this on my own because I love the bag and I'm gonna love the strap. And so it comes in just a mini version of that box with its own dust bag as well. And this beautiful wide strap that looks exactly, it's the same leather as the other bag, same adjustable strap, and then the same little clips to clip it on. So let's give it a try. And so here's the original thin strap, and here's the thickness of the wide strap. They're both very beautiful. I would be happy with either, but I want to try this. And these clips swivel, and so no matter what direction you put it on, it's going to face the right way. So here's what that wider strap looks like on the bag, which for some reason is just more my style, and I love that it's still a crossbody and I can adjust this if I need to. So I'll kind of play with that in a bit, but let me go over some of the details of these bags because they are gorgeous. Today's video is brought to you by Teddyblake, New York, a brand that takes luxury handbags to the next level. Teddyblake combines timeless Italian craftsmanship with modern design to create bags that are truly stunning and made to last. Each bag is handcrafted by skilled craftsmen in Italy using premium leather and the finest materials, giving you that high-end look and feel without the steep luxury markup. Whether you're looking for a chic, everyday tote, a stylish crossbody, or an extra cool knitting bag that's also a handbag, Teddyblake has a design for every occasion. With tons of sizes and styles to choose from, you'll be sure to find your perfect bag for every day or special occasions. Teddyblake pays close attention to all the details that complete the perfect leather bag, from high-end hardware with an elegant shine and durability to expert craftsmanship and strong stitching. They make sure your Teddyblake bag will last you a lifetime. Thank you, Teddyblake, for sponsoring today's video and for making handbags that feel as luxurious as they look. Be sure to use my link below to check out their New Year's sale to get up to 55% off, or use my code TBJenGeigleyKnits30 for $30 off. You can also follow Teddyblake on social media at Teddyblake on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So in the past week or so, I have been looking back at my Ravelry and updating some things, adding pictures for some things, and then adding some projects I forgot to add. And then I think I still have a couple more that I need to take pictures of and add at some point. But this was my last knit of 2024, which is a good one. And I'm so proud that I finished it like right before New Year's Eve, and I got to wear it kind of like I had hoped to do. And then I really wanted to make a what I knit in 2024 video for today, but I'm not going to. I have too many things to talk about, too many things that happened between the holidays and now, and between the end of Vlogmas and now. So I'm gonna do all that stuff first and wrap up all those post like December things. And then I think next week I'm gonna do a what I knit in 2024 video. But I also considered not doing it at all because I sort of get this icky feeling in January. I don't know what it is. It's not. It is wonderful to look back on your year of knitting. It is really cool to even, like, I designed some things in 2024 that I already even forgot. Like, it's funny how you forget what you have done and when you made things, and it all kind of runs together sometimes. But I also was thinking, like, I don't know if I want to make one of those videos, and everybody makes one. And I love watching them also, but I don't want it to feel like a competition or that anyone is less than or better than or whatever. Like, I made 85 things and you made 3 things, and none of this matters. And I just want you to know that before I even make that video. And I'm trying to tell myself that too. None of this matters. But I don't want anybody to feel like I didn't do, 3 things per month last year. Who can? Nobody, it's not a competition. Nobody wins at knitting. It's for fun. Knitting is supposed to be fun, and I want to keep it that way, but I am going to share my knits next week in a video, everything I made last year. But for now, let me look at my list of things I need to talk about. I have a New Year cast on. Erica and I met for coffee on New Year's Day, as per tradition. We started maybe in 2022 with kind of an accidental New Year's cast on, but it was so much fun, and there's no better way to start a year than by casting on a new project together. So in 2022, we both fell in love with this sweater called Cordy, and I wanted to make mine with a main color of yellow with purple accents, and Erica loves purple and wanted to make it the opposite with like a purple main color with yellow accents, and it's also black and white. And so we decided, since we both love that sweater, that we were gonna cast on New Year's Day. And so we did that, and then we both wore those sweaters to the Rhinebeck that we went to that year. So that was so much fun. And then ever since then, we've cast on different projects each year, but this one, we had both had yarn that we bought at Rhinebeck again for a vest called the Flagship vest. And we got that at Cake Palooza from Espace Tricot. And we got the same colors, same yarn, same vest, both fell in love with this vest, had to have it. Bought it really, really quickly before we moved on to Indie Untangled. And so it was like a really spur of the moment purchase, but we both fell in love with this vest and had to make it. And so we said, this could be our New Year's cast on. We said it like that day. And then it just kind of stuck. Like I think we both had it in the back of our minds that we're going to cast that on New Year's Day. And so we did, which was really fun. And we spent a lot of the time, like Erica swatched, I did not, don't judge. And then we spent a lot of time thinking about what size we were going to cast on, because it recommends -2 inches of ease, but we also are both afraid of tight vests or tight sweaters. And so we were trying to figure out what size are we casting on. So that was really fun. So I'm going to talk about that. So we have a New Year cast on to talk about. The new finished objects. I have a couple finished objects to show you. I have some Mosi progress. I am buckling down. I'm going to get a little bit ahead of my goals on my Mosi. I'm going to try really hard. I've been really inspired to work on Icelandic knits for my trip in June and get ahead of it, because I also have a big secret exciting thing that I'm going to be working on in a lot of 2025 is going to be working on this project, and I can't show you and I can't talk about it, but that is something that might interfere with my Mosi and Icelandic knitting, and so I have to work it all in and maybe make a new calendar plan of deadlines for that. And then I also have my yarn label chain to share. I'm going to do that today. I was going to do it next week, but I'm going to show you today. I collect all my yarn labels from the year and make a paper chain out of them. So this is not my original idea, but I saw it on Instagram a couple of years ago from an account called, I Thought I Knew How. That's the account name. And I think Modern Daily Knitting or Kate Gardner reposted it, and that's how I saw it. And then I just started collecting all my yarn labels from then on, from the whole year. And it is really fun to look back at it that way, in a paper chain, physical way. And it's also really useful if you forgot how many skeins you used on a certain project. It's easy to go look back and say, oh, this is my section of Lopi, and I used 8 skeins to make this Felix. It's kind of useful and fun to look back on. And I don't know, I just think it's fun to collect, and then you can recycle it and start anew. Like right now, I just, my New Year's cast on, I save those labels in a little paper bag. I just use a Trader Joe's paper bag downstairs where I just stuff all the labels in there. And then at the end of the year, I staple them all together. Sometimes midway through, I'll group them and kind of get them in little stapled groups, but you could tape them together at the ends. I don't know why I feel like staples are faster and easier. I just feel like I like making a chain that way. But anyway, what else am I sharing today? Craft night at the Varsity. We had our movie night. It was knitting, but it was also knitting, crochet, crafting, needlepoint, cross stitch. People brought markers and were coloring. It was like all crafts welcome to craft night. And so we called it Craft Night at the Varsity. It was a huge success. It was kind of stormy that night. It was like sleeting rain when we got there, and it turned into snow as we were watching the movie. But it was so much fun. We rented a loft theater, which is a little bit smaller than the big theater. They have different theater sizes in that theater. And we got the small one, and it felt like a slumber party. That's I think I said that 3 times that night, where I even sat on the floor next to Erica because there was different lighting situations. We couldn't, they couldn't for some reason turn up the lights all the way, but we had it pretty good, like a mid-level where you could see pretty well. And some people brought their Lumos neck lights. And it was cozy. They had a snack deal where we got popcorn and soda for $5. We had a blast laughing at this 90s movie that we chose to watch. And it was so much fun just being with a bunch of friends, at a slumber party, eating snacks and knitting and crafting and doing all kinds of things. Actually, I'll just show you the video from that night right now. Here is our craft night at the Varsity.
Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Yeah.
We had such a fun night at the movie theater and we hope to do that again. I would love to make it a monthly thing. So if there's enough interest, we will totally keep doing this. And we just had a blast and we hope everyone else did too. Okay, I'm gonna back up and talk about my whips and my finished objects that I finished at the end of the year, last year, which was a couple days ago. But here is my Mosi progress, and you probably maybe can't tell, but I finished this whole section and got well into this section, and I have one more section before I split for sleeves, I think. So that's coming up soon, and I really think I had like a loose goal of the end of January splitting for sleeves then, which would keep me kind of on track for June. But I think I'm gonna try really hard to beat that and get like a month ahead, because I really want to get into the body of this, because I know that's gonna take a while. These rounds take a long time, but it's so beautiful. It is so worth it. It's gonna be so amazing. It's just like, it's so worth it. It's actually really fun knitting. I enjoy it so much. I just need more time, and the holidays were really busy, so it wasn't the best time, but I did finish, some other things. It's all good. Over holiday break, I also finished a Parkside hat by Leila Raven. This is in Peace Fleece, and I'm gonna make a ton of these hats. I also made more half-hour hats, my new pattern that was free during Vlogmas. Go check that out on Ravelry. It's for thicker yarn, but this is also a thicker yarn too. This is Peace Fleece, which is like a heavy worsted, and this is literally the perfect hat. It fits really nicely. It's very cozy and warm. Sorry, I have to always adjust with bangs, but I have leftover Peace Fleece that's yellow from my Cordy sweater. I have a whole skein of it, so I'm gonna make another one in yellow. This is kind of a navy with little flecks of different colors kind of mixed in, which is kind of outer space-y, and I love it. And it's just like the right size, the right amount of coverage for my ears. And then I think I have a skein of dark green. And then I also found a whole extra skein of black in this. And so Bo tried this on. He's like, I really want that black for me. And I'm like, I will knit you a black Parkside hat for sure. So that is next on my list as well. But I was happy to get this done because I had this ready to go just for the decreases for a long time, and it was kind of ridiculous. So it's just fun to finish this. It didn't even take that long, and now I have this perfect hat for cold, snowy days like today. The other things I worked on, and really my biggest finished object, is the Felix cardigan. I mean, obviously, but I did work on these socks over break too. I was really trying to just kind of finish up some whips so I could move on to the next year, basically focusing on my Mosi. But these were supposed to be my Halloween socks. The colorway is called We Are the Weirdos Mister from The Craft, the movie, the Halloween movie. And this is Nomadic Yarns. She is the best dyer of self-striping sock yarn in the world. I love her colors so much. But I've been wanting to finish these because these colors are so good. So I worked on these a little bit at Rhinebeck, and they just kind of sat, and I've just been doing a little bit here and there. But I did finish both cuffs and both toes. And then I just have to pick up and do afterthought heels, and these will be done. So they're really, really close now, and I'm going to love these for sure. Also, during the month of December, I signed up for a virtual workshop through Modern Daily Knitting about bullet journaling and just journaling in general. And just it's such a cool thing to think about at the end of the year and at the beginning of a new year. And so this class was online with Felix Ford, and I love Modern Daily Knitting's virtual events. It's like being there with the teacher. And so I did treat myself to a new journal this year, and this is part of my big secret project, is I need to do a lot of planning, writing, brainstorming, and journaling is my favorite way of doing that. And I love having it to look back on throughout the process. It's just kind of how my brain works. And the Felix Ford class, what was it called? Her class series that she also offers on her own website, so you can go take this through her too, is called Knitsonik. And she has her own way of recording everything in your life, plus knitting and your creativity and all kinds of stuff. And it's just it's super different and eye-opening, and you can do it your own way. Like, I have my own weird methods, but I think it's really interesting to learn things like this and pick and choose and take things to kind of use creatively in your own writing and journaling and record keeping. I've always loved documenting everything. It's something I've done since I was a little kid. I have weird old scrapbooks from my childhood that, like, things you wouldn't normally record or scrapbook, I did. It's embarrassing. I have a binder, a huge binder downstairs of like the 90s news events, that it's all newspaper clippings. And actually it's really interesting now. It is like an archive. I would take also like cartoons and like the funny pages and stuff. And I love documenting things, and it is how I process through a big project that I'm planning on working on over the next 6 months. And so anyway, I'm really inspired to get this going, and I need to do it today because I'm recording right now on January 2nd, and I feel like I've already missed a day, but yesterday was really busy, and it's fine. My kids just went back to school today. It's been chaos. They were not ready. Also, to send kids back on a Thursday is kind of rough, and Bowie's school starts at 7:15 a.m. and it was so dark because of the snowstorm. There was no sunrise. There was no sun at all. Now it's like very bright because of the snow. Anyway, what I'm getting at is I really want to start this journal and start brainstorming and kind of dumping some thoughts and kind of processing through for my big project that I'm working towards, and also just sketching and drawing and like putting it out there where nobody really has to see but me. But Felix Ford, her class really helped me kind of embrace it doesn't have to be perfectness of journaling. So that was a really cool class. And I encourage you to go check out the Modern Daily Knitting virtual events. There's so many good ones coming up in this next year. So definitely go check those out because they're amazing. Okay, I think it's time to look at Yarn Chain 2024. So it's not even that big, but it kind of is. So looking back through this is kind of fun because it starts off with the Corey worsted. It was that chartreuse Corey worsted from La Bien-Aimée that I knitted my warmthness out of last January, which I had forgotten was this year. I thought that sweater was from the year before, but that was totally January because I wore it to Vogue Knitting Live for the first time. And I finished knitting all those little flaps right before I went. And so it's fun to see that. And then, this does not go chronologically, but then I had a Lopi section, and I think that was my Crowberry. I had a Rowan section. I have a Jameson section because I was doing Mary Jane Mucklestone fun things. I think those socks from their book. I have a section of the Brooklyn Tweed Tones yarn, those yellows I was using. More Jameson and Smith, probably from my Gudrun hats. I have a couple sections of Modern Daily Knitting Atlas, and that was my 1999 sweater because I used a ton of colors of that, and I don't even think they're all here. I think I did lose some labels, but this is like, a good representation of most of it. I have a Rowan section from the kids' sweaters. There's like some missing there too, but that's a good section. There's more Atlas. Magpie fibers. I've got some Fritters yarn. I only have one of these. Fritters yarn from my tinned sweater, my red and white. There should be way more of those labels. And there's Lopi again, Spin Cycle, Brooklyn Tweed Arbor, which I made a hat out of. more Atlas, more Rowan, Sockhill Farm for my Rhinebeck sweater, which was my Gib, and then more Brooklyn Tweed tones and some Wool in the Gang for my red hat that I made during Vlogmas. So that is my year in knitting in paper chain form. So come hang out with Erica and I as we go out for coffee and hang out on New Year's Day and cast on our new vest by Espace Tricot, the Flagship vest. She also brought some projects that she was working on, and she reworked a sweater and made it like an outdated sweater and made it into a vest, which is it looks so good. She made that second tree sweater and she gave me the first one. We just had like a great knitting day. We also knit other things and kind of talked for a while, and then we cast on our vest together, which is really fun. So come hang out with us while we do all that.
Really coming along.
Okay, is it not speeding along so much better now? Isn't that nice?
It is, but it also feels like it's taking forever. I think because I divided for sleeves, I was like, oh, I'm like basically done.
Right. No, you are. Look how far you are.
Yeah.
This part will go, you know how it adds up, you know.
Well, it's a lot more mindless now.
Yes.
You know,
I saw how fast you were knitting at the movie.
It's not a big deal. So I do really like this color.
It's so good.
It's growing on me now.
It's so great.
Double give?
Double give.
Give in process.
So we are doing our traditional New Year's cast on, and we are casting on the Flagship vest by Espace Tricot that we got this yarn for at Rhinebeck together, the accidental vesting at Cake Palooza. And so yeah, it's our tradition for a few years now to cast on sweaters together on January 1st. So this is exciting.
Are you going to swatch?
No.
Are you going to be good?
I'm not going to.
You're not going to do it?
Are you going to swatch? Did you swatch
I might. I haven't, but I might.
Okay, because we have to talk about sizing because I'm not sure what size.
Yeah. It feels like a commitment. I feel like I should swatch.
Maybe you're right. Because I don't really make vests either, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
But yeah, our first knit along on the first was the Cordy sweater that we both made, and we made it in opposite colors. That was kind of like our accidental first one that we did together, and then we both wore them to Rhinebeck, and it was fantastic. But now we have.
Super fun.
Are you doing the colors they suggest, or are you doing your own?
No, I'm gonna do the one that Stephanie did. I think in the pattern there's two versions. One's like a more primary color, and then the other one's a little bit more subdued.
Green and blue.
But yeah, I'm gonna do, because I think the pattern is written off of like vintage Ralph Lauren patterns, so I want to stick with that very traditional.
Yeah,
vibe.
I love the red in it too, so yeah, I'll probably stick to it too, but I do love the yellow. It may be easy to switch one color around, so I'm still thinking about that too as we do the rib, but
I really haven't done that much research.
Yeah, we barely looked into it. But we're going to cast on, I think it's bottom up.
Oh, yeah.
And it's steeped.
It is.
And it's steeped in a different way than I have steeped before, so it's going to be adventurous for both of us. And so that's why we're doing it together, and you're probably going to be way ahead of me, but...
That's okay, we'll have to steep together.
We can steep together. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So here we go.
Yay!
I feel confident that my loose knitting and no swatching is going to work out for me.
Famous last words.
Erica's being really good in swatching.
I'm not going to do
Should I swatch?
So if
Erica?
Here's my laziness.
Okay.
Even if I do a swatch, I don't do a full swatch. So this is 22 stitches over 4 inches. So I'm going to cast on 20 stitches divided by 4.
Okay.
And see.
That's not so bad.
See what I get. So even though I am swatching, I am doing a very lazy swatch.
It's very responsible.
But it's also, we've been knitting for 10 to 20 years, so you kind of know that you're a loose knitter. I am typically right on with my knits, so if I'm not manipulating the pattern at all, I usually don't gauge swatch.
Okay.
So,
maybe I will too, just to see.
It'll be fine.
It will be fine.
Way.
It's fine. For marking by 50s, I have to count mine. We had a little bit of indecisiveness on the size we're picking, but Erica and I like to kind of knit the same size usually, so that's kind of nice. Okay, do you know what your favorite knit is in 2024?
No.
I don't know if I do either. I would maybe say mine is my warmth sweater from January.
Okay, that one's really fun.
Because it was weird and different. But also I would say this gift.
I think probably the Kava is my favorite. It's definitely my most worn knit of 2024.
I love that one.
But I also really, I'm looking at my Ravelry right now, I also really like the tins that we just finished.
No, that was perfect.
Yeah, and I think it's because that one was like much more of a process. I had to like, I really struggled picking colors, yeah, and then when I finally got them, they were perfect.
Yeah, we made some good things this year. You made a lot of things. You made 45. Is that right?
Yeah.
Or more? 45 things. I haven't even counted.
Wild.
That's incredible. You've had a very productive year.
Yeah, I gotta diversify my hobby.
Okay, will you tell me about how you fixed your vest?
Yeah, so this was a sweater that I knit like 10 years ago, and it was longer, so it was like a tunic, and it had long sleeves, and the yarn is like an old Barocco, and it is super stretchy. Something, a lot of nylon in it, or something that makes it stretch. And it, as I've aged and styles have changed, it just didn't fit very well anymore. And so I cut off like probably 5 inches and redid the waistline.
Perfect.
And made it into a vest, cut off the sleeves. They never really fit right. And so I, just took off the sleeves, made it into a vest, and now it is shockingly kind of perfect.
It is so good. You would never know that was a sweater. Like I would. Yeah. It's perfect. Yeah. What a good save.
I will say that it turned out very well. And I do this thing, or I have been doing this thing, where I try and wear everything in my knitwear cabinet, and if I don't like it, then I either try and fix what I don't like, or I send it on its way to someone else. So then it's not like, I mean, 45 things, I have a lot of knitwear, so I try and keep it moving and share the love to other people.
No, it turned out so good. That's a good save. And that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for hanging out here with me on Jen Geigley Knits. It is always such a joy to share this creative space with you. And stop back next week because I will do everything I've knit in 2024. That's still coming. But as we step into the new year, I hope your 2025 is off to a good start, full of inspiration and cozy projects and cozy vibes overall. Let's keep creating and making together in the months ahead. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any episodes. I will be uploading a new episode every Saturday morning, so stay tuned for that. And I'll see you in the next video. Happy knitting, and here's to a beautiful year ahead. Bye.